Right. So, parts are as labelled. Bass, Barry 2, Barry 1, tenor. Tenors together. That's it. I don't think I did anything clever. I put everyone on as labelled. This is the one where we're going to allow a few ladies from the Lush the honour of auditioning to join us. They are, yeah. I've had like a whole email about it already. 3 actually. So it's. If you haven't listened to it lots, it's impossible. If you have listened to it lots, much of it is actually quite singable, and some of it is still really hard. The lady who I got to come and record the alto parts, who's pitch perfect musical genius, said it was one of the hardest things she'd ever had to sight sing. But that's the alto parts. Actually, same applies to all of them. So, and we noticed a few places where the King's singers have definitely got it wrong on the original recording. That's not a good sign. Nothing reassuring about that at all. Okay, let's pretend it's going to go well. And start everyone on their notes. I'm not expecting this to be a very long experiment. Second Barry, first Barry. There we are, tenors. So you're in on the 1. So 5, 6, 7, you're in. 5, 6, 7. I stand, neither in. 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 I stand, neither. Good. Stop. Good. Okay. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. Let's just work on the last page and call it a good one. Alright. So, it's in 7/4. That 7/4 is fine as long as you don't tell people that it's difficult, in my experience. Actually, people who have trouble with it are people who've done lots and lots of other music and played in orchestras and stuff, but mainly doing sort of Beethoven, Mozart and that sort of thing, because they never ever wrote stuff in 7. You can do it in primary schools, and the kids just, it goes like this, and they just copy it, and it's fine. For anyone who really cares about this stuff, and I know most of you don't, I conduct it with 4 and 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Having said which, you're not going to be looking anyway for ages. You're going to So, it's just better, and this is where the listening comes in, because I've actually had this on the shortlist for, I think, nearly 3 years. So, yeah, well, it kept getting to the top, and I kept thinking, nah, I can't face teaching it. And then I met you lot, and I knew it'd just be easy. So,
it's really going to be a hard rehearsal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yes, yeah. So I'm paying compliments. I'm desperate. Okay, so the thing is, just forget about everything. Don't even look at music, mate. Here's how it goes. It goes I stand, neither in. I stand, neither in. I stand, neither in. It's like. I stand, neither in. I stand, neither in. I stand, neither in. I stand, neither in. Okay? So just gently speak that along with me in a very relaxed way. And I stand, neither in. I stand, neither in. I stand, neither in. I stand, neither. All right, now try sort of speaking it with me, but more or less silently, because otherwise the noise of your own voices will put off people around you. So just kind of whisper lip sync with me. I'll slow it down a touch, but it won't really help. So but in. I'll speak, the rest of you kind of ghost it. I stand, neither in. I stand, neither in. I stand, neither in. I stand. That's right. Don't count anything. Just sort of gently osmose your way into the cis. I stand, neither in, I stand, neither in, I stand, neither in, I stand, neither in, I. Alright? Good, that's getting better. So, just sort of seeing this kind of...
Sounds brilliant, yeah.
Good. Right. This is the easy bit, by the way. And this carries on for the first 4 or so pages. At one point, basically going which in quite slightly psychotic way, I always think. But so let's just try. Again, you have to listen to this lots. There is not enough time in this year, and we're due to perform this after about 5 rehearsals. So, and in those same 5 rehearsals, we have to learn an unbelievably huge amount of other stuff too. So it's going to be a really exciting term, as we know. Second married, first married, and us. Obviously, the alto parts would be with you normally. So. And I stand, I stand, neither in, I stand, neither in, I stand, I stand, neither in, I stand, neither in, I stand. Sorry, okay, good. That was actually better. Didn't hugely show, but it was. I'll keep doing it, and I'll keep singing the first out part as I'm doing it, because...
How long does this go on for before you think about changing?
I'll make a sign when it's time to change. That's it. You've got 4 pages. And the cues for how it changes, you'll hear it. Okay, so... Again, I repeat, I'll try and sing the first out part as I do it, because that's kind of the one that stands out most on the recording, so that might help. So... And I stand, neither in, I stand, neither in, I stand, I stand, neither in, I stand, neither in, I stand, neither in, I stand, neither in, I stand. I stand neither in, 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 I stand neither in. That's right, and then this is the basis, but the basis suddenly go, and again, you won't have to count this, and that's you can't, your eyes go funny. But I'll just reach across at some point when it seems appropriate and just, that was good, and then, in the wilderness, no fairy, and then we're into page 4, letter B, when it gets hard. But I'm not. At this point, basses, the rhythm you have on. Look at the bass part, everyone, on page 4. If you get a bit that looks like this, give up hope. I have literally no idea even how to give you as a hint as to get that right, frankly. And this more is the first time in my teaching career I say that. This is going to be a job of meet you at the bottom of page 5. It literally is. And this is the bit where some of the King singers get it wrong. But it actually doesn't matter, because it's kind of, it's just a crazy layered effect of like loads of people just going, the beats are kind of like this, and the beats and the parts go, it's just completely insanely across everything. And if it ends up a little even more lead than the composer had originally intended, I think that's all to the better. And basically, I've already kind of made peace with that, frankly, before even starting. Other parts, that's not the same. All the other parts, except for the first out and the bass in this section, are very rhythmic, and they will keep the metronome. Right, we're not really going to do that much more on it right now, because honestly it's pointless until you've had a good listen and soaked it in. But you're already getting the feel that these first couple of pages, they're not quite right. We're a little early on the first I stand, a little late on the neither. But as they soak in, that's not going to be a problem at all. Literally, I can teach that to primary school kids, it will be fine. The other bits, we'll see. It's going to be very exciting. Okay. Alright, so let's just do exactly the same thing again. The first 3 pages, and then we're going to move on to something else, and you're going to go away and listen to it, because you can do this. You made the mistake of
Signing up.
yeah, exactly. Taking the shilling, and not only that, but producing a fantastically good concert at St Alan's at the end of last year. So guess what? I just raised the bar, haven't I? So yes, Barry, tenor. 5, 6, 7. I stand by the inn. 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 Now, and then you basically keep going the same, everyone goes quiet while the basses do their thing. Yes?
We've got some.
Oh yeah. I stand in, I stand, I stand, I stand, I stand, no, I stand, either in,
Sounds like a washing machine or a slow spin, though.
It's with everyone else. So you just basically sort of sing both parts for one bar. I stand, neither in, and then you're back. I stand in, Again, all that is really, believe it, all that is easy. There's a slight sort of psychedelia side to the bass part. You get a bit off your tits, basically, singing it. Yes, almost certainly. Where are we? Yes. Page 4 is. But in the fold of a green land, but in the fold of a green hill, the tilt from one parish into another. It's basically that same rhythm, which again, if you try and read it and count it, you will get a headache, basically, at the very least, if not a brain hemorrhage. Because it is very hard to analyse, very hard to calculate, but it's actually not hard to sing. Just listen and relax into it, you know. Like I say, the big trick, just forget about any thought that people telling you that 7s are difficult. Relax into it. It's pop music until it gets to a certain little bit. Enough, because this is also a sort of tune that you can't rehearse for more than sort of 10 minutes before you start losing the plot. Joseph? That's a very good question. I actually worked out this just when I finished recording all the training audio. It's about a wishing tree. I stand, funnily enough, and as far as I can see, because it's one of these things, a bit like when we did the Andy Shepherd commission a few years ago, for those who are in Gert Lash, she splits, the arranger splits the word between the parts. So, as he stands in the fold of a green hill, the tilt from one parish into another. Look at me through a smirr of rain is to taste the iron in your own blood. It's right, fantastic. It's great. Who's it by? Kathleen Jamie, the poet. And then, yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Talbot arranged the poem by kind permission, and commissioned by BBC and the King's Singers. Jodie Talbot apparently was a keyboard player in the Divine Comedy. Was someone saying that last? So yeah, so that's great. And he's also done all sorts of other sort of music things. Not particularly known as a choral composer, but this is great. I think it's one of the most exciting, unique things ever. And we're supposed to be doing it as a cameo slot at the Contemporary Music Festival, National Contemporary Music Festival, 3rd of March. Plenty of time. And to carry on, because I bear the common currency of longing, each greenish wish, secret wish, my limbs scabbed with green coins, the small change of human hope. It's just quite difficult to read because it's dotted between the parts. I draw into my slow wood fleur-de-lys, which is the back of the coins, isn't it? It's the tail. So it's a wishing tree, one of those trees where people push coins into the branches and when they make wishes, and the tree's growing over it. And it says, you know, beyond the land towards the Atlantic, reaches, though poisoned, choking on the small change of human hope. Gently beaten into me, look, I am in fact alive and, no, I am in fact still alive and in fact in bud. So a little bit of hope there at the end, which is, I think that's great, especially because I didn't work it out until I'd been listening to it for 3.5 years. So, and then recorded the parts and still, because I knew someone would ask me the smart-ass question. So there we are. That's great. Though I'm poisoned, choking on the small change of human hope, gently beaten into me, I am still alive and in fact in bud. Killer last line. Fantastic. Great. Right. So just go away and learn it, and everything will be fine. That's